Plants like music and love it when you talk to them? They're sensitive to touch? Hi, I'm Kimberly Baker, and I'm fascinated by all sorts of subjects relating to our homes and how we live in them. Join me for an explanation of plants, some interesting findings, and why we need houseplants in our lives. First and foremost, houseplants improve air quality. To be honest with you, even if houseplants did nothing to help purify the air, I'd grow them anyway, just because I love the way they add life to indoor spaces. There is controversial data concerning whether houseplants play a significant part in purifying the air, mostly because there are so many variables involved in testing air quality, like air movement and the size and shape of a space. But I'm happy to report that in my research, I discovered a study led by the University of Birmingham in partnership with the Royal Horticultural Society in Great Britain, which found that yes, houseplants can be effective at cleaning pollutants from the air. In the study, they determined that in a room measuring approximately 50 cubic feet, 5 houseplants would improve air quality by 20%. It appeared to be a well thought out experiment with a very reasonable result, so I'm going with it. I could easily find a place for twice as many plants in a space that size. And I'm assuming that with 10 plants, the results would be even better. The plants they used in their study were the corn plant, peace lily, and fern arum. NASA has recommendations for air purifying plants as well: the areca palm, snake plant, Chinese money plant, Gerber daisy, Chinese evergreen, spider plant, aloe vera, broad lady palm, dragon plant, weeping fig, chrysanthemum, and rubber tree plant. As a bonus, some of these plants are easy to propagate, giving you even more bang for your buck. For example, the spider plant and Chinese money plant both grow babies that you simply cut off from the parent plant and pot separately. Rubber tree plant cuttings can be rooted in water. Once new roots are established, the cuttings can be potted. When selecting your houseplant, make sure to match a plant's light requirements to your space. Also, make sure the plant won't be toxic to any small children or pets who might try to eat it. Follow the watering and fertilizing instructions for your plant, and it should thrive. Houseplants add freshness and beauty to a home environment, but there are other reasons I love plants. They're just so fascinating. Did you know that plants appear to enjoy music? They like to hear you talk and will grow toward noise. No need to be creeped out, though. Your plant can't process noise and really doesn't care what you say. It's really just sensing vibrations from sound waves that appear to stimulate growth. Did you know plants are sensitive to touch? An extreme example is the Mimosa pudica, or touch-me-not plant. Its leaves visibly shrink away from anything that touches it. And of course, the Venus flytrap, with hinged leaves or lobes that snap to capture its prey. Also, in a study published in the Plant Journal by Professor Jim Whalen of La Trobe University in Melbourne, Australia, plants that were touched by humans, animals, insects, or even other plants responded with stunted growth. The reasons vary. When touched by an insect, for example, some plants will expend vital energy, signaling the release of poison, which I'll explain in a minute. But generally speaking, if their leaves are touching, they're close enough to be competing for light and water. So if you have a pot containing multiple plants, like a dish garden, don't overcrowd them. They'll be happiest if they have their own space. However, evidence also suggests that like plants grown near to one another are friendly toward one another. They tend to have shallow roots that allow room for other plants to grow rather than invasive roots that would dominate and choke out non-like plants. Sibling plants don't seem to mind touching one another and usually have intertwining branches that appear to support one another. Did you know that plants communicate with one another? They send signals by secreting chemicals into the soil from the tips of their roots called root exudates. These chemicals signal the plant's root zone, or rhizosphere, information like who they are and whether they are friend or enemy. A plant's root exudate can be a defense mechanism against attack, and as I mentioned a minute ago, plants can send toxic chemicals into the soil to chase off a predator. Or in some plants, the roots signal its leaves to release chemicals that taste bad to or even poison the predator. Plants growing outdoors face more threats than houseplants, but even houseplants, especially those sharing a single pot, might have need to communicate or send chemical signals. Are you growing more enthusiastic about houseplants yet? In case you're still not sure whether they're worth your time and effort, let's look at how beneficial they can be to your overall well-being. Research suggests that because plants connect us to nature, they improve our mood, reduce stress, and according to Melinda Newth, assistant professor of horticultural science at North Carolina University, whether they're outdoors or indoors, plants help us feel recharged and grounded. So if you're ready to up your home decorating game and reap some amazing benefits, check out the plants that are available to you in your local greenhouse or home improvement store and consider finding one or two or three to add to your home, or snip cuttings from a friend's plant and pot them yourself. With just a little care and attention, your houseplants will bring you joy for years to come. If you like this video, please be sure to click like, subscribe, and check out my other videos.